Airman Basic represents the absolute starting point for enlisted personnel in the Air Force. This rank carries no insignia. The uniform sleeve remains completely blank. Individuals spend approximately 8 weeks in basic military training at Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland in Texas, transitioning from civilian to military life. The training covers fundamental military customs, physical conditioning, weapons familiarization, and Air Force core values. Airman Basics learn drill movements, proper saluting procedures, uniform standards, rank structure, chain of command, and basic military law under the Uniform Code of Military Justice. Physical training occurs daily with gradually increasing intensity, including fitness assessments, measuring push-ups, sit-ups, and timed runs. Most automatically advance to airman upon graduation. Airman is the second enlisted rank marked by a single chevron stripe. Personnel receive this rank upon graduating from basic military training, though some qualify for immediate promotion based on prior achievements, completing at least 2 years of junior ROTC, earning Eagle Scout rank, receiving the Girl Scouts Gold Award, or accumulating at least 20 semester hours of college credit. After graduation, airmen proceed to technical training schools where they learn their assigned Air Force specialty code. Training length varies dramatically. Some courses last weeks while others extend beyond a year. Aircraft maintenance specialists train for 6 months, while linguists spend up to 2 years in school. During technical training, airmen study classroom theory and hands-on practical application, learning equipment operation, maintenance procedures, safety protocols, and mission-specific tasks. The standard time at this rank is 6 months for those who enlisted for at least 4 years. Airman First Class wears 2 chevron stripes and signifies completion of initial technical training. Promotion typically occurs after 10 months as an airman, though accelerated advancement is available for those who completed junior ROTC, earned the Billy Mitchell Award, or accumulated 45 college credits. At this rank, personnel work under direct supervision while developing specialty proficiency. They perform inspections, repairs, operate equipment, and troubleshoot systems. Performance expectations increase substantially, maintaining higher standards in technical work and military bearing while participating in additional duties beyond their primary job. Physical fitness testing occurs annually, measuring cardiovascular endurance, muscular strength, and body composition. Time requirement for advancement to senior airman is 36 months total service, with 20 months at Airman First Class or 28 months at this rank. Senior Airman wears 3 chevron stripes and represents the highest enlisted rank before entering the non-commissioned officer tier. An accelerated program called Below the Zone allows up to 15% of exceptional airmen first class to promote 6 months early through competitive selection. Senior airmen achieve full proficiency with a 5-level skill designation, performing most tasks without supervision. They execute complex technical procedures, operate advanced equipment, and troubleshoot problems independently. Leadership development begins at this rank, mentoring junior personnel, teaching procedures, and overseeing small work teams. Senior airmen must complete the 6-week Airman Leadership School before promoting to Staff Sergeant, covering leadership principles, communication skills, resource management, and Air Force history. Staff Sergeant marks the first non-commissioned officer rank identified by 4 chevron stripes with 1 rocker underneath. Promotion requires 3 years total service, 6 months as senior airman, a 5-level skill designation, Airman Leadership School completion, and competitive selection through the weighted airman promotion system. This system evaluates performance reports, decorations, specialty knowledge tests, and time in service. Staff sergeants assume direct supervisory responsibility. They write performance reports documenting work quality and leadership potential, conduct counseling sessions, and address performance issues. Technical expertise shifts toward quality control, reviewing work completed by junior airmen and ensuring procedure compliance. Work scheduling becomes primary, assigning tasks, balancing workloads, and ensuring sections meet mission requirements. Training management falls under their purview, and disciplinary authority increases to enforce standards for appearance, conduct, and work performance. Technical Sergeant displays 5 chevron stripes with 2 rockers. The 7-level Craftsman designation signifies expertise beyond basic proficiency. understanding theory behind procedures, troubleshooting complex problems, and specializing in difficult aspects of their field. Average time to reach technical sergeant is approximately 12 years. Technical sergeants supervise multiple staff sergeants and their teams, overseeing entire sections. In aircraft maintenance, they might manage all electrical systems specialists on a flight line. Resource management becomes central, controlling section budgets, ordering parts and supplies, tracking expenditures, and justifying purchases. Quality assurance programs fall under their management, developing inspection checklists and identifying systemic issues. They serve as technical experts for their squadron, providing solutions to complex problems. Master Sergeant displays 5 chevron stripes with 3 rockers, marking entry into the senior non-commissioned officer tier. Promotion is highly competitive with no guaranteed timeline. A central board reviews complete career records, examining performance reports, leadership impact, breadth of experience, and professional military education completion. Master Sergeants serve as flight chiefs, section chiefs, or squadron superintendents. A flight contains multiple sections, potentially encompassing 50 to 200 personnel. Strategic planning becomes primary, developing long-term training plans, forecasting manning requirements, and aligning flight capabilities with squadron objectives. They participate in planning meetings with officers, providing enlisted perspectives on feasibility and resource needs. Personnel development takes broader scope, mentoring multiple layers of leadership while maintaining awareness of junior airman progression. First Sergeant is not a separate rank but a special duty assignment for Master Sergeants, Senior Master Sergeants, or Chief Master Sergeants. The position is identified by a distinctive diamond insignia, replacing the standard star emblem in rank chevrons. First Sergeants serve as primary enlisted advisor to squadron commanders on all matters affecting enlisted personnel. They focus exclusively on morale, welfare, discipline, and professional development. Selection is rigorous. Candidates undergo interviews demonstrating exceptional leadership ability and genuine commitment to people. Once selected, they attend First Sergeant Academy covering counseling techniques, military justice, and crisis intervention. Daily responsibilities center on direct interaction, conducting one-on-one counseling addressing personal problems, financial difficulties, family issues, or career concerns. Disciplinary matters consume considerable time investigating misconduct allegations and recommending appropriate action. First Sergeants monitor unit morale constantly, visiting work centers unannounced and identifying problems before escalation. Senior Master Sergeant displays 5 chevron stripes with 4 rockers. Federal law limits this rank to just 2.5% of total active duty enlisted force. Promotion requires central board evaluation reviewing leadership impact across multiple assignments, breadth of experience, and demonstrated potential for higher responsibility. Fewer than 10% of eligible Master Sergeants are selected annually. Senior Master Sergeants serve as operational leaders responsible for mission execution across large organizations. They hold positions such as flight superintendent or group-level functional managers overseeing specialty areas across several squadrons. Mission planning involves coordinating resources across organizational boundaries, balancing competing priorities, and allocating scarce resources strategically. They mentor commissioned officers, particularly junior captains and majors, providing operational reality checks during planning sessions. Chief Master Sergeant displays 5 chevron stripes with 5 rockers and represents the highest enlisted rank. Federal law limits this to just 1.25% of total enlisted force. Selection often requires unanimous board approval, with candidates typically possessing graduate degrees and exceptional communication skills. Chief Master Sergeants serve as senior enlisted leaders at group, wing, or major command levels, advising colonels and general officers. Strategic influence defines this rank, shaping policy at highest organizational levels and participating in command staff meetings, determining operational plans and resource allocation. Advocacy for enlisted force becomes paramount, identifying systemic issues affecting quality of life, career development, or operational effectiveness with data-driven recommendations. Command Chief Master Sergeant represents both a rank designation and leadership position created in November 1998. Command chiefs serve as senior enlisted advisors to commanders at wing, numbered air force, and major command levels, making them the highest-ranking enlisted member within their organization. Selection for command chief is separate from promotion to Chief Master Sergeant. Primary responsibility is advising commanders on all matters affecting enlisted force, providing daily counsel on morale trends, training effectiveness, and discipline issues. Mission readiness assessment occupies significant time. They develop and implement programs enhancing force readiness and quality of life. Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force represents the highest enlisted position in the entire service, holding a special pay grade above standard Chief Master Sergeant rank. The Air Force Chief of Staff personally selects this individual from among serving Chief Master Sergeants, considering career breadth, leadership philosophy, and ability to represent nearly 260,000 enlisted airmen. Primary function is advocating for the entire enlisted corps at highest levels of Air Force and Department of Defense leadership. This individual attends senior staff meetings, briefs general officers, speaks directly with Congress, and influences decisions shaping future force. Enlisted force development represents core responsibility, reviewing and influencing promotion systems, professional military education curriculum, and assignment policies. The Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force travels extensively visiting bases worldwide, providing unfiltered feedback on living conditions and operational challenges. Second Lieutenant represents the lowest commissioned officer rank, marked by a single gold bar. This serves as the entry point for newly commissioned officers completing one of 4 commissioning pathways: the United States Air Force Academy, Reserve Officer Training Corps programs, Officer Training School, or direct commissioning for professionals in specialized fields. Second lieutenants entering operational career fields immediately begin extensive training. Pilot candidates attend year-long undergraduate pilot training programs. Combat systems officers train approximately 1 year in navigation and weapon systems. Non-rated officers in intelligence, logistics, cyber operations, or security forces attend shorter technical training courses specific to their specialty. Second lieutenants in first assignments typically serve as flight commanders or assistant flight commanders. Leadership responsibility focuses on learning rather than independent command, working under direct supervision of captains, majors, and senior non-commissioned officers. Rank duration is fixed at 24 months. Second lieutenants automatically promote to first lieutenant after 2 years. First lieutenant is marked by a single silver bar. Promotion occurs automatically after 24 months of commissioned service. Responsibilities differ minimally from second lieutenants in most career fields. The rank primarily indicates additional experience rather than significant role changes. In flying units, first lieutenants continue building flight hours and tactical proficiency, working toward instructor pilot or flight lead qualifications. Professional development intensifies, completing Squadron Officer School covering leadership theory, communication skills, and national security strategy. First lieutenants also pursue advanced training in their specialties. Rank typically lasts 2 years, with promotion to captain occurring automatically at the 4-year point. Captain is marked by 2 silver bars. Promotion occurs automatically after 4 years of total commissioned service, making captain the highest company grade officer rank. Captains are expected to be seasoned leaders with substantial operational experience. In flying squadrons, captains typically serve as experienced flight commanders leading teams and planning missions. Senior captains often hold instructor pilot qualifications, training new pilots and evaluating their performance. Non-flying captains frequently command flights containing 50 to 100 personnel. Administrative responsibilities increase significantly, writing performance reports, managing flight budgets, and coordinating with other flight commanders. Professional development continues with pursuit of graduate education, with advanced degrees becoming increasingly important for competitive promotion to major. Major is marked by a gold oak leaf and represents the first field grade officer rank. Unlike previous promotions, advancement to major is competitive. Promotion boards examine performance reports spanning officers' entire careers. Selection rates typically range from 70 to 85%. Majors shift from direct flight leadership to staff and administrative roles at squadron, group, and wing levels. In flying squadrons, majors often serve as assistant directors of operations, helping coordinate all flight activities. Group and wing-level staff positions consume many major assignments, working in operations plans, standardization and evaluation, or safety offices. Administrative and planning work dominates responsibilities, drafting operational plans, preparing briefings, and managing programs affecting multiple squadrons. Majors must complete Air Command and Staff College covering operational art, joint warfighting, and strategic thinking. Lieutenant Colonel is marked by a silver oak leaf. Selection typically occurs after approximately 16 years of commissioned service. Selection rates generally range from 70 to 80% of eligible majors. Lieutenant colonels typically serve as squadron commanders in operations, maintenance, mission support, or medical groups. A squadron represents a significant organization containing 200 to 500 personnel. Squadron command carries full responsibility for mission accomplishment, personnel welfare, discipline, training, and resource management. Before assuming squadron command, lieutenant colonels often serve as directors of operations in flying squadrons, managing all flight operations and coordinating training. They develop strategic thinking skills essential for senior leadership, considering second and third order effects of decisions and developing long-range plans. Colonel is marked by a silver eagle and represents the highest field-grade officer rank. Promotion to colonel is extremely competitive. Selection rates typically fall between 30 and 50% of eligible lieutenant colonels. By law, colonels must have at least 22 years of commissioned service. Wing command represents the primary duty for most colonels. A wing contains 1,000 to 4,000 personnel organized into multiple groups, typically operations, maintenance, mission support, and medical. Wing commanders manage budgets exceeding hundreds of millions of dollars and oversee facilities worth billions. They interact regularly with general officers, brief members of Congress, and coordinate with local civilian leadership. Vice-wing commanders serve as the wing commander's primary deputy, handling internal wing operations. Colonels fill critical staff positions at Major Command Headquarters, the Pentagon, and Joint Commands. Brigadier General is marked by a single silver star and represents the first general officer rank. Selection is extraordinarily competitive. Typically, only 1 to 2% of eligible colonels ever pin on a general officer star. The Secretary of the Air Force and Air Force Chief of Staff identify candidates who have demonstrated exceptional strategic thinking and operational excellence. The Secretary of Defense reviews nominations before forwarding them to the President, who submits names to the Senate for confirmation. Brigadier Generals typically command large wings or hold key staff positions at Major Command Headquarters. They manage relationships with local communities, coordinate with other service branches, and represent the Air Force in regional forums. Major command staff positions employ numerous brigadier generals as directors of operations, logistics, or strategic plans. Pentagon assignments place them in senior positions on the air staff. Joint assignments are common, serving on combatant commander staffs worldwide. Major General is marked by 2 silver stars. Federal law restricts the number of officers holding more than 2 stars. No more than 25% of active duty general officers may hold ranks above Major General. Major Generals typically command numbered air forces, operational organizations consisting of multiple wings assigned specific geographic regions or functional missions. A numbered air force might control 10,000 to 30,000 personnel spread across several installations. Some have geographic responsibility like 7th Air Force in Korea, while others have functional missions. Major Generals also serve as Joint Force Air Component Commanders, coordinating all air assets from multiple services during operations. Major Command Staff positions employ Major Generals as Deputy Commanders for operations, logistics, or strategic plans. Lieutenant General is marked by 3 silver stars. Promotion requires approval at the highest levels of government. The Secretary of Defense reviews each nomination carefully before forwarding recommendations to the President. The Senate Armed Services Committee conducts hearings and votes on confirmation. Lieutenant Generals typically command large numbered air forces containing multiple wings and tens of thousands of personnel. Examples include 12th Air Force or 9th Air Force. Some lieutenant generals command major commands, organizational structures reporting directly to Headquarters Air Force. Major Command Deputy Commander positions employ lieutenant generals as the second highest officer in commands containing hundreds of thousands of personnel. Pentagon assignments place them in the most senior air staff positions. General is marked by 4 silver stars and represents the highest permanent rank during peacetime. This rank is tied to specific statutory positions. Officers hold the 4-star rank only while serving in designated billets. The President nominates officers with advice from the Secretary of Defense. The Senate Armed Services Committee conducts confirmation hearings where nominees testify publicly. The Chief of Staff of the Air Force holds 4 stars and serves as the senior uniformed officer in the service. This position serves on the Joint Chiefs of Staff, advising the President and Secretary of Defense on military matters. The Vice Chief of Staff manages internal Air Force operations. Major Command Commanders hold 4 stars when leading the largest commands like Air Combat Command or Air Mobility Command. Combatant command positions place Air Force generals in 4-star joint billets like U.S. Transportation Command. General of the Air Force is a 5-star rank created during World War II. This rank has been held by only one individual in history and is currently considered inactive, reserved exclusively for wartime use. General Henry H. Arnold received this 5-star rank. On December 21, 1944, while the Air Force was still part of the U.S. Army, Arnold was promoted to General of the Army. He commanded all Army Air Forces during World War II. When the Air Force became independent on September 18, 1947, Arnold's rank required clarification. On May 7, 1949, Congress officially redesignated Arnold's rank as General of the Air Force, making him the only person in American military history to hold 5-star ranks in 2 different services. 5-star ranks were created during World War II to provide American officers with equivalent status to their British and Soviet counterparts. No officer has been promoted to General of the Air Force while on active duty. The Air Force considers it an active rank that could theoretically be awarded again, but only during a major war requiring mobilization on the scale of World War II. Since 1981, Congress has restricted the creation of new 5-star positions, though existing law technically still permits them under extraordinary circumstances. To see how America's most elite Navy units operate under that same command structure, check out our deep dive. Every U.S. Navy SEAL team explained in detail.